today at the Moxie Hotel, and I'm here with Jen.
Hi.
So Jen is one of my newer friends, actually, and I feel like we've been social media friends for a while, but like we're actually like new
real
life
friends.
Like
we actually touch each other.
Yeah. So Jen is actually opening a hair salon here pretty soon. You've been solo for a while though, kind of like doing your own thing, but now you're opening your brick and mortar location. So she's gonna tell us a little bit about her story, because I think what intrigues me the most about everything that you bring to the world of being an entrepreneur and also a female entrepreneur is the fact that you have 2 kids.
And 2 younger kids.
And I literally just want to know, like, because I'm just trying to make sure, like, my goldfish gets fed every now and then.
That's what this is for. 2 children, that's why I drink a vintage
I know.
coffee.
So I am so impressed by that, because you know, it's always impressive when any woman can accomplish something as much as, you know, opening your own business and doing all this, but then to be a mother on top of that adds a whole extra element that I am always constantly in awe of. So let's kind of start. Tell me first, okay, because this is not your first time opening a space.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
So I moved into my current studio 7 years ago.
Okay.
So in the midst of that, we'll just kind of make it a quick little intro about it. In 2020, I had my second child. At the end of 2020 and 2021, like the beginning of, I found a second space in St. Pete. I tried opening it. It was going to be 6 chairs, and to make it long story short, I had a landlord who you would, I guess, say slumlord. I'm not at liberty to give any other information other than that.
Had a couple of those.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I think we all know.
So it was just like water intrusion, issue after issue. It was just things I'm not at liberty to say. Actually, I signed an NDA for that. So that kind of set me back a little bit. And then I just kind of sat on it for a little while, just because, you know, PTSD from trying to open up and deal with more landlords that you don't know is really difficult. So.
I think that actually is one of the biggest setbacks for a female entrepreneur, because actually a lot of people don't know this. When I first opened my space, my current landlord, they're great, but there was this like almost disconnect that like the landlord constantly wanted to talk to Zach anytime there was a problem, and Zach works for me.
Yeah, he works for me. He's not the business
he
owner,
rents
it's
for
you.
me. And so I literally was like, hello, it's me.
it's like on the paperwork when they always put the Mr. first or something.
Literally. Yeah. And then I remember another time a different tenant moved into the building. Same thing. It was a guy, and he was like, "Oh, let me talk to your husband." And I was like, "Well, I'm the owner, so like talk to me."
Interesting.
And he literally gave me this look like up and down, and was like, "Oh,
a woman."
Yeah. And I literally was like, "Oh my god! Like, what else do I gotta do?" You know. So I do think that's such an impressive feat, and unfortunately, that's such an uphill battle that most women go through in owning a business. And then also, I've also come across, like, in the very beginning, like when I was seeking out like business loan options and stuff like that.
It's so hard.
Oh, I literally had a banker tell me one time, your application would look better if you were married. And I literally was like, "That's
Are you joking
crazy.
me?
That's crazy."
But
because in my family,
I'm also doing the business, not my husband. It's not a partnership.
And so I'm the breadwinner of the family. Yeah. I'm the leading credit score of the family. Like all of this, like
your head of household.
Yes. And I was just like, that is insane.
You're a woman,
that you
you're not.
literally just sat there and told me that. I was like,
this is 1945.
I know. And I was like, you know what? Is there? I don't know if there is out there, but if there's like an all-woman like financial firm, like we need that.
Call
you know
us.
What I mean?
Let us know, because there's a lot of us.
That's crazy. So it's been one of those things where like I can completely understand some of those uphill battles that you go through, but then also on top of that, having kids.
It's hard. It's a financial drain, because when you think about it too, just not only being women entrepreneurs, because we're one of the minorities, right, of business ownership in general, but you can't fight back.
Yeah.
Like you don't have the funds to fight back somebody like a landlord who has multiple locations, or they're like part of a bigger business.
Yeah.
You can't fight them when they're in the wrong, but they're trying to still blame you, even though I was legally within my right to sue them.
Yeah.
I didn't have the funds to really fight them. And
100%.
if I brought it to court,
I've been through stuff like that too, where I was like, I definitely could have sued for this, and I simply don't have the funds for it. And that's how people like slumlords get away with that, you know, because they know you won't have the funds to go after them, so they're like, it's fine. But it's interesting. So so you had your first space, and that kind of fell through.
Yeah, it fell through. So I had almost pretty good amount of construction at that point with some equipment and things like that. And then my son was only a few months old at that point, my second son. Yeah. So then I just kind of sat where I am now in my salon suites. So I've been there 7 years, and this was still going on at this point.
Oh, okay.
I moved into my salon suites in 2018.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Yes, 2018.
My
older one was 9 months old. So
okay.
I went in there and then I kind of just sat and looked at a few spaces here and there. I gave myself a little break because after 2020, 2021 and all that going on, I needed a emotional break from recovering from that trauma.
Right.
And also financially. Like it was a big financial hit. It was all that same time frame. So probably about 2023 I started poking around it.
Okay.
Just to kind of feel things out. And a few spaces I thought would pan out. In my gut, I was like, something is going on.
Yeah, you felt it.
And then I thought that I was like
paranoid.
Gaslighting myself and thinking it wouldn't work. But long story short, all those spaces.
I'm doing that every day.
Is it just me or is it them? It was not me for once. And the spaces that I kind of was like really going in on to like give financials and even have my lawyer look over leases and spent the money on that again. All of them are still available for rent.
Oh, really? Interesting.
So my gut was kind of right on that.
A woman's intuition is unmatched. I sometimes say this, and I mean this with like entire like
my whole body.
Yes, the FBI needs to hire women.
Yes,
okay, because we
Gemini's also.
Yes, and we just know we have this like crazy intuition where like there have literally been times where like it's like almost like a premonition. Like I can almost like hallucinate exactly why this like shouldn't happen the way that it's happening, and then I'm like, that's crazy.
And then you're like, is that should I?
Yeah.
And then you kind of don't know, and everyone's like, yeah, it'll be fine. And you're like, no, but I don't think it's fine. So something is going on and weird. So
it's always like my clients that are like, Olivia, I knew he was cheating. I felt it in my gut, and I accused him, and he called me crazy. But then he was cheating, which I mean, a man loves. Men be loving to call us crazy, and they're the ones lying.
They're the ones lying.
I mean, it's the witches in freaking Salem. Hang her because God forbid her intuition is good.
She could smell.
I know.
It's like that song from the 90s.
Yes.
Smell.
Yes. Literally.
Something's going.
I'm done. It's so true though. Like our intuition is crazy.
It's really strong.
And I've literally, especially becoming a business owner, I've learned how to become more attuned to that.
A little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, even with just like hiring employees and like going through that whole process, there's been so much through this process where I have had to listen to myself.
Yes.
And turn off the outside influence and really just say, Olivia, is this the right path? Is this the right choice? And I mean, I've made plenty of mistakes along the way, but it's so interesting how as I'm getting into this now, 6 years we've been in this, and I'm really
it's like maturing.
It's
like that.
Yeah,
that like intuition's maturing into like different ways of utilizing it.
Right. So okay, so now your current space, which I just listened to you have to drop some crazy money on some of your equipment and stuff.
It's been pretty crazy.
When is like your goal, like opening and everything?
So officially, I need to be out of my current studio that I'm in by June 30th. So official opening date will be July 1st.
Wow. Okay.
I'm pretty excited. It's smaller than I would have normally had chosen.
Yeah.
In the past, I was looking for something that was just larger because it does take some more financial, right? Let's be real, I'm not in the business to just like for a hobby.
Yeah.
I turned my hobby into a business.
Right.
So I do need to make money at it, and I would like to not be fully hands-on all the time.
Yes.
So that was my goal initially with the previous spaces because they were larger.
Right.
But also with St. Pete getting more expensive.
Yeah.
Just like retail spaces are wild.
Yeah.
The amount of people I would need to really step back, it just doesn't make sense. Financially,
crazy.
you can't fit enough people in there to get the money.
You guys would throw up if you knew how much commercial real estate
was here. Some of it's like $60 a square foot.
Oh my God!
You're looking at 1,000 square feet for $6K, and that's just your rent.
Yep.
That is not including your insurances and everything else on top of being a business owner.
The overhead in being a business owner is
especially
crazy.
Beauty business.
Like
and we have very
actually this is something I actually recently was talking to. So there was somebody that it was after the premiere show actually.
Okay.
Were you at premiere?
No, I didn't get to go. We were trying to build the salon.
Crazy.
So I couldn't go.
It was crazy. That was my first time.
I thought
wild. The hair people are crazy.
We're a little wild.
I literally was like, am I at a show or a rave? Like it was
a little bit of both.
And then people like cutting the hair out.
And we get amped up, and everyone's all had at least one of these already since 4 a.m.
It was crazy, but it was interesting because something that's not talked about a lot. So I recently was reached out by somebody who's kind of this industry reporter, basically, and she was like interviewing people that are like in the industry. And one of her questions that she asked me was like, what's something that you wish you could go back and relearn that maybe isn't very discussed in the industry? And I literally said finances.
There is so
and
much
I literally said,
crazy.
yes. And I was like, nobody ever talks about overhead.
No business.
Like when you're
business
in school,
skills, nothing.
Nothing. And then also, it's also like weirdly not talked about. And I think a lot of it is because people think of money
secretive.
as private.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm so open with people about my journey because financially, I definitely made mistakes when I first opened because
still making them
I
probably.
didn't. Oh yeah.
I'm like, I need that. They're like, why did I buy that?
I'm like, do I need to go to Europe
return
this year?
It's also on Marketplace.
I'm gonna make it a write-off. I'm dead. My accountant is texting me constantly like, Olivia,
what did you buy on Amazon?
No,
why is there
she's like,
Amazon?
we can't write off Victoria's Secret. I'm like,
why
find a
not?
way.
It was for branding. I need to look good for my clients. It's all a write-off. Like
it's all a write-off.
What's that?
From Schitt's Creek.
It's a write-off.
It's a
write-off people.
Yeah. He's like, who do you think pays that?
The write-off people.
Literally.
I do that for my coffee.
But it is so true though that this industry doesn't talk enough about that. Mm-hmm. And I literally was talking about that to this reporter. I was like, this is something actually that I feel like should be talked about more, so that people who are just starting their business out won't become sticker shocked when they learn about overhead. Because when I first started, I didn't know what triple net was. And I guarantee if you're watching this, you probably don't know what triple net is. Nope. And I didn't know all the differences between like business insurance, liability, all these different things. And then of course, as I got employees, I remember the first time I had my employees for a year, and I didn't know.
You didn't know what you don't know.
I got a huge warning from the IRS about not having workers' compensation, and I literally was like, I didn't know how that works, and they were like, well, if your employee gets hurt, you have to have coverage, and I was like, so it's literally all these things that you just don't know about until you're in it, and I wish, not that there could ever be like a book, but I wish there was just something that you could like
basic guideline within these references, but it changes so much too between like.
And I'm sure in hair school you guys don't learn about business either.
No, and I can't say every hair school.
Right, they're all different.
They're all different, but I'd say as a general consensus, I think a lot of us, and I've been doing hair for coming up on 14 years now, about to hit 14 years. I went to Aveda. And Aveda is a great school. They are that little like culty, but like I think anything kind of is like Redken, Paul Mitchell, Tony and Guy. They all have it because you drink the Kool-Aid to be successful. Yeah. So I chose them because I knew that going through their program, I would be really good at doing hair. Yeah. Hair school is for hair. Yeah. Hair school has nothing to do with business because most people that go to be a cosmetologist, and I can speak from the hair side, right? Yeah. Cosmetology encompasses quite a few different categories. Where most of us don't go out on our own. Right. We stick with a salon because that's what they're training you to do. They're not training you to be a business owner, they're training you to be an employee. Right. And it's the same thing in the skincare world most of the times, and even to the point where when you go to like aesthetic school, for instance, I went to a school in Tampa, which I loved, but I had to go an hour out of my way because it was the only school around here that didn't teach you just how to work in a day spa. They taught you how to also have more of a like medical and clinical background, because in our industry especially, there is like relaxing massage type, like holistic style, which facials, more so. And then there's like more corrective care, which corrective is what I was leaning towards, but that was so hard because I toured the Aveda school. Yeah, but it's very like it was very holistic, which is great if that's what you're looking for. But most of the schools are teaching you to just go work in a hotel spa or go work at a day spa or a massage envy or whatever those places are. So it is hard to try to. And I remember telling my parents that I'm going to go to skin school. I know, and I remember telling them that I was going to open my own business, and they were like, have fun, girl.
Okay, with that ADHD and anxiety that you have, and I was
I'm just gonna.
Those are my best attributes.
I'm gonna feed it a little bit. It actually makes me really good at my job.
Those are my best attributes. I'm literally like, that's on my resume. Okay,
might as well be.
No, literally. But it is so interesting though, because we aren't exposed to a lot of that in the beginning. And so you really do, you're like clamoring to find your way through owning a business. It's
really hard, and because I'm going to open up this space, it is smaller, and there's so many things have changed since I started trying to open a couple of years ago, that I have luckily some hair friends that I can like lean on that do booth rental salon like I'm going to do, or have commission, or had opening failed, or opening succeeded and tripped and stumbled and found their way, that I'm like, hey, are you open to like discussing this with me? I don't know what you deem private, but no weird vibes. Like I'm not trying to like mooch or do anything. I'm trying to like cause, you know what I mean? Like I don't want them to feel like I'm like poaching or being weird, but like we don't know. Yeah. And there is like all these classes we're able to take for fun that we spend hundreds, even up to thousands of dollars, are teaching us techniques. Yes. There is a little bit of social media in them because everyone needs that, especially up-and-coming artists, and it shifts so quickly. But very rarely are they business oriented. Right. But each salon is very different. They're not franchise.
Right.
You know, there's very few salons that are franchise. They're all individual owners, so everyone runs them differently. Now there are laws, right? You have to follow where they're the state board laws, your local county laws, but also like federally with taxes. You know,
oh my God, I know.
And that can get messed up too. Like if you don't know, sometimes accountants don't know either. And
the IRS is watching.
Oh, they see everything.
Don't look at mine.
You're like, but that coffee, I needed it, so please let me. I need that massage. They're like, do you really? I'm like, I'm on my feet all freaking day.
Oh yeah.
Massage
yes.
And my
oh my
accountant's
gosh.
like,
it is. I know my
stop.
accountant. I love her. She really is like my accountant's so funny because she's like a young girl also.
Cousin-in-law.
And she's
it's mine.
She's like, I'm an accountant for the girlies, but then
Yes,
also she's like,
too.
but also I don't want you to get arrested.
So can you just stop doing this? You can't. And I'm like, but it's for a branding shoot.
Yes.
I bought $400 in Abercrombie.
I say all the time, I'm like, it's for content.
See, it's content.
I'm dead. Catch me at Sephora writing all of that off. Always.
Yeah. I mean, I need to look good for my. They can't. I can't be looking schlubby
This
all
is
the time.
demand.
This is us. This is where we started.
But it is so interesting, and I'm so excited for you.
Yeah,
so
thanks.
okay, circling back a little bit because obviously, so you're opening this business, but you're also still working in your current space, and being a wife
and a mom.
So what is kind of your day like? Like how do you do this?
It's a little hectic, and I need to, you know, there's always ways to like get better and do things better. It's a learning
and
curve.
everybody's different.
Exactly.
I'm just always so interested when I meet a really accomplished woman who has all these layers and elements because it's so impressive to me, and especially in today's world because we don't live in a world that's slowed down.
No, it's constant,
it is go,
fast.
go. Yeah. So talk to me. What's your day like?
So basically, I don't judge how I get up in the morning. I need to get up earlier, but I'm tired. Okay, I should start my day at like 6 a.m. I don't start my day till like 6:45.
It's rough.
I need to because I should be getting up before my kids, get myself going. But
easier said than done. Okay?
Those are my goals. Okay.
Yeah.
So get up at just before 7 o'clock. I get up. I start doing coffee or breakfast or something. The kids wake up. You know, they use the restroom. Yada yada yada.
Daddy's how old are the kids now?
One will be 8 in August, and the other will be 5 in September.
Okay,
so still pretty little.
They're walking.
Yeah, they're walking.
Wait, any of my clients watching this know that I genuinely don't know anything about children. My client will be like, "Oh, she's 1," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So she's talking. She has a conversation with you, right?
She has a mortgage. It's chill.
Okay, but also to be fair, I was just at one of my girlfriend's house the other day with her little super adorable 2-year-old toddler, and I literally I'm pretty sure we were having a full conversation. Like me and her, we were talking about going to Paris. Yeah. So that's me. Okay. So they're 5 minutes. So they're walking. They're upright. They'll be a
third grader in kindergarten this year. So they get up and they're just wild because I'm not going to diagnose my children, but let's be real. My kids are probably a little. It might trickle through the blood into being born. So you know they're a little all over the place in the morning too, hard to wrangle. So it's always like chaos. Both boys. So
so that's
WW.
They have the energy.
I guess it's called now. It's just
chaos all the time.
They find one toy and they're just wild.
Yeah.
So we're trying to wrangle them. I'm trying to like get ready, get in the shower, and bless my husband. He really is like the partner that every person deserves. Like I truly can see. Like he might piss me off, but I love him with all my heart. But he'll do breakfast. He starts making lunches, so I'll pop in and out while I'm trying to get my day ready. While I'm trying to make my lunches, get myself ready. And then we just kind of balance that out in the morning, and we're trying to run out by 8:20 in the morning. So the kids rush off to school. Drop them off 2 different locations right now, which is really difficult. So across towns, across town. And then I go from there and I grab a coffee and I head to work at 9. First client's at 9:30. I work till about close to probably done around 6. Like I'm closing at like 5:30. Clean up, checking messages, and then I run home to my second job again and clock in to be a parent.
Right.
If I don't pick them up, because we split that too, like dropping them and pick up, we alternate schedules a little bit. So if I'm not picking them up, I'm home at like 6:30. I also lollygag at the end of the day sometimes.
And you still make it to book club.
And I still make it to book club.
And you have the book read. That's crazy. I'm so impressed.
Because then my kids will go to bed till 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then I'm like, oh, I can do something now. And then I'm up till midnight because I'm alone and I can like do my own thing for the first time in hours. And I should be using it better. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know, you gotta use it for you.
Yeah.
I say this all the time. I don't know what it's called. I'm trying to think of a fancy word to call it, but I have like businesswoman guilt where when I'm home, I feel like I should be doing more.
That's a trauma thing.
Yeah.
No, that's a trauma thing. It's like you feel guilty for relaxing because you felt like you have to earn it when you're younger.
Yes.
That's a whole wound thing. You can look it up.
Oh, God. My poor therapist. I know she watches every episode, like, write that down, She's like, we need to talk about this next week.
It's some kind of, like, I guess, trauma response.
I mean, it makes sense. I've been diving into a lot of my childhood anxieties and traumas and fears definitely over the last year especially, and it's been so interesting like how it's all kind of connected, and like going into my 30s I've really like I've been trying to understand it a lot more, but I have this like businesswoman guilt where I'm like, okay,
I'm sitting, I should be doing something.
Yes, and I think also weirdly some of it stems from the fact that like in my head I'm like, there was a time when women had no rights, and I have, this is such a privilege to be able to work and own my own thing. So I'm like, if I'm not working on my business every 5 minutes, I feel like I'm letting down
my ancestors
all of women. Yeah, I'm like, what a letdown. Like that lady that's like being beat by her husband in the 1920s is like, you go girl.
But I'm also like, but I want to sit down.
I know.
I also don't want to work. Like, who said we should work?
No.
Honestly.
I know.
I want rights and stuff, but like, I would be chill being at home making sourdough, working on my garden.
Trad wife,
drinking coffee, reading my books and watching TV, like getting ready for my children. I have friends that do that. And that's not making it sound easy. If you have kids, you're still like busting your ass. On top of like being a spouse.
So like, and then, you know, I have like other, like I have my business, which was my dream to open, and I'm so lucky and fortunate to be able to have that. But I also have like
you worked really hard. I say that to myself too.
Thank you.
I want to say I'm so lucky and so blessed that I have this. I'm like, yes, but
I also worked my ass off.
We worked really hard to get where we are and to follow through in our journey, regardless of like what kind of try to cut you down.
Very true. And so, yes, I worked my ass off for that. But I do have other things where I'm like I have a dream of wanting to write a book one day, and I've actually been doing this for years.
A child's book.
Oh, yes.
I'll never do it. But
no, see, and that's my theory too. I was like, oh, I'll never do it. But then I'm like, well, why not?
Why don't I? People do random stuff all the time. They're like, it didn't work.
So it's one of those things where like I do understand that you have that guilt, but also it is so important to go home and like take some time away, because otherwise you will be consumed.
It's consumed, and I catch myself doing that, and right now I am, because I am trying to open my new space, and there's just so much going on with it, because it happened kind of quickly. I found the space that I needed to jump on it, and then at that same time, I'm like, I have to tell them 60 days ahead of time I'm not renewing my lease, so it was like, sign now, or like I'm stuck another year. Could always sublet, but it's also kind of hard. So it's one of those situations where I'm kind of, I don't stop running right now until I'm in there.
It is. It's a constant sprint through a marathon. And sometimes just when I think I'm heading the finish line, it's another 10 miles.
I also throw myself into that. I'm also like, I did this to myself, because once you ADHD thing, I think once we feel the calm,
oh my god,
or like something is wrong, and we need to like shake it up again.
I think I've talked about this before, but like because of my ADHD, I'm one of those, like, literally as we're sitting here, I'm like, ooh, you know what? When I get to the office,
I need things I thought about. Oh my, I thought of like 15 things already going, okay, well, she said this, I need to look at this. I ordered my shampoo bowl.
I know. I'm like, give me a pad of Post-it notes. And I literally say all the time, and all the girls in my office know this, that like when I die, they're all gonna bury me with my Post-it notes.
Like,
I'm a Post-it note queen. Because I'm literally like, I'll be in the treatment room with a client, and I'll be like, oh, let me write that down real quick. And yes, oh my god, I'm dead. Like a prom dress.
Yes.
I'm crying. No, the ADHD thing is crazy because it is a superpower, but it's also like my kryptonite.
It's really hard.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where I'm really grateful for this whole journey as a whole. But what I'm working through right now is the guilt of feeling like I'm not doing enough, but also feeling like I'm doing too much. And also trying to balance my family, my partner, my dogs. Like it's real hard. It's so much. There have been times where I've gotten home from work and I've walked in the door and I've just stood at the foyer for a second, because I'm like, what do I start? Do I rest? Do I sit on the couch and watch TV? Do I pet my dogs? Do I say hi to Zach? Do I help with dinner? Do I answer emails that I haven't gotten to all day? And then Zach will look at me and he's like, you want to come in the house? And I'm like,
I don't know what to do.
No, literally.
That's like the ADHD freeze thing. You're so much to do that you just get paralyzed. You don't know what to do.
It's a literal thing. But also, I can't be medicated. I just can't.
Me too. I would say I raw dog my ADHD all day. I'm just raw dogging it all day.
Same. I am trying a little bit of the mushrooms, and so far I've liked that.
Let me know more about that, because
I will.
I wouldn't mind dabbling.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things where I'm just trying to find like natural alternatives, because the medications do suppress my personality.
I haven't tried it, so I've been nervous too, because I've heard mixed things. People, same thing. It's like, yes, it helps, but I'm like, does it make you just like
a zombie?
You know?
I have.
I don't know how I would feel. I think I would freak out. I think I'd like
I did
like a crisis.
I remember in high school my parents put me on ADHD medication.
No one knew I had ADHD.
Oh, really? You got later diagnosed. Yeah. I think
hello.
It was weird. I remember when I first entered high school that all of a sudden ADHD had become like a phenomenon around the world, and like every kid in my class was diagnosed. And so I remember one year everybody in class being like fun and crazy, and then I remember the following year was the year everyone was put on drugs.
Like Ritalin.
And everyone was in class like
that's weird and gross.
Yes.
Like that.
Oh, I hated it. I would come home and my
mom
mom was like, Olivia? And I was just like, yeah.
Yes, mother.
Yeah, and she hated it too. She was like, oh, we're not doing
What's
that.
that weird show where I have the same face? What is that weird one that came out? Uncanny Valley.
Oh, yes.
I never watched it, but I know the reference.
It does give the vibe like that.
Yeah.
Like, you literally are, like, not there. It's like your hollowed out shell.
Ugh.
And my mom was like, you need to be a kid. Like, we're taking you off of this. But it was like a trend, though. Like, everybody was on it.
My brother was on it.
Yeah, it was
and it didn't help him because I don't think it was ADD.
There's
a little something else.
I think it might be. Oh, man, I'm crying. it be happening to everybody.
Yeah, I think if you're neurotypical, you're the weirdo.
Yeah. No,
like,
and it's
all
like,
of us are the ones that are like,
yeah. I find
flitting around. I feel like you're the freak.
I like the term for it is
neurospicy. So I wear my spicy earrings. That and the
I love that.
The
yes,
snut
of course,
books
the snut books. Yeah. Okay, wait. Speaking of, so you're in the book club, which I don't know if you guys know this, but I host a very smaller book club.
Yeah.
We're currently at max capacity, so I'm sorry, guys. We have 12 coming next. I don't even know where they're gonna fit in my house.
You know what? We're all just gonna see each other's laps. It'll be fine. We'll get to know each other.
I told Zach, I was like, we're gonna need to order more like pillows for people to sit on or something.
I'm gonna bring some bean bags. I'll bring my kids bean bags for my house.
So
with the little blow up ones, like they're like squeaky.
Maybe I'll order those.
That
would be fun. But yeah, so we're at max capacity, so I'm sorry guys, but it is
BYOB,
a
bring your own
fantasy.
bean bag?
Yeah, bring
BYOBD? BYOBB, bring your own bean bag.
We gotta send that in the group chat for sure.
Funny. Okay.
But our book club is fantasy, dark romance. Oh my god, the meetings are so fun.
They're all
we have the best time.
We record those live. Those would be over because we should one of these. We should. They're just nuts.
We have so much fun. I think what I'll start doing though is I'll start posting about the book that we're reading, and if anybody wants to join in and read along on the book, and then if we ever have like an opening or somebody's like unable to make a meeting, I can like open it so that other people can join. Really but I am super excited for the book that we're reading right now, which you're about halfway through.
About halfway through. I like it so far.
What do you think is like your favorite fantasy book?
Oh my god.
Is fantasy definitely your favorite genre?
Probably, yeah.
Same.
Yeah, it's been for like
and I think it's because I want to detach from this world.
Yes, it is. It's like I want to like dive into it because I want to forget like what's actually happening sometimes.
And I also
disassociation, but
down
fun.
like hope that one of my past lives I was a badass assassin or
I
something.
joked I was a Cleopatra or something.
Yes.
That was my joke. But I'm like, I think I was Cleopatra, and I was like, or I was just like a jerk.
Yeah.
And I just like fucked people up.
Right.
Yes. I did something. I did something sassy. Oh. I maybe we're assassins together.
I know. Wouldn't that be so cool? That's like my favorite trope is like the assassin trope.
Yes, because it's just because you want to know why she's a badass female.
Yes.
It's because they're badass because these women are writing badass women and like men that were like, oh, you don't expect. I'm in love with this man who just I'm in love with my husband, obviously. But
I got 6 book
But I have a couple of book boyfriends and he has to really compete.
And Zach knows that. Zach does all the time. Like last night I just finished a book last night and it was so good. It was the Prince of Sin series by Carrie Maniscalco, and it was the first one, Throne of the Fallen, which was the House of Envy. So it goes through all 7 deadly sins, and it was so good. Yes, she had her first series, which was actually YA, and this was her first time stepping into the adult realm, and it was so good. And I just finished it last night, and I like ended the book, and I was like, oh my god.
Not Cruel Prince, not that one?
No, different one. Okay. Zach was like, oh my god, what happened to your book boyfriend? I was like, I'm dead. I was like, babe, I can't even explain it to you. I'm sorry. And he's always just like, he's like, who am I competing with?
You're like, let me my Rolodex.
He's 7 feet tall, first of all.
He's 7 feet.
He's a king of the underworld.
He has wings.
Good luck, Zach.
He's 500 years old and he's rich.
So rich. And someone please tell me why every time they get kidnapped, they're upset about it. Like, please take me to the underworld.
But only like they fit these descriptions.
Yes, and the girl that I was reading about, the main character girl, she like reads and paints, and she was like,
why are they all painters?
I don't know.
Everyone paints and is like,
and she was like, I'm trapped in the underworld, and all I can do
is Persephone, I'm so sorry.
And paint, and I'm like, life is hard.
Oh.
I'm out here trying to tell my account
her garden
how to write off $20 at Sonic. Okay,
I want a slushie and tots. I'm really hungry.
I'm like, just somebody kidnap me, please. No, don't.
No, please
not
don't.
unless
Not
you're
for real.
Not unless super rich and king of the underworld. Okay.
don't
even bother because I will elbow you.
She'll come for you.
And actually, that's so funny. Somebody said that recently because they were like, "Oh my god, Olivia, like you love reading like fantasy, but also like, you know, when you're out in public." No, Zach literally says all the time. He's like, "I feel bad for when men even try to talk to you at the bar or anything." Oh, I do. I'm like immediately like back it up. But no, King of the Underworld. He can get it.
Okay, I'm about to read that one.
No, but I love fantasy, and it's so interesting how I do think it is part of that escapism. Because
it is. 100%.
I will never put down a book faster than when the main character female is whiny or pathetic or like not strong enough.
Honestly, you know what made me really mad about like the Twilight series was that.
Oh.
And I know that was like young adult, but I was like, Bella, get it together,
girl. You have two options.
You have two, girl. And I would say like in True Blood. Did you watch True Blood or read the books?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm always like, well, I want Eric at night and Elsie during the day.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Why not have
or Vampire Diaries?
Oh,
like
vampire.
These girls, y'all gotta stop being like, I only can pick one, and I want just one. Hello.
You know, the world is your oyster. My nana used to say to my mom, variety is the spice of life.
I am crying.
And I'm like, well,
no,
okay.
I do agree though with that whole Twilight thing, because I love
a Twilight.
Yes.
I still love it. I don't care.
No,
but I'm
same.
like, oh no, it's not being whiny.
It's like, Bella, come on.
Girl, just get it.
What's up, Loca?
Where the hell have you been, Loca?
Where have you been, Loca?
Where the hell have you been?
I'm dead.
That's definitely not my favorite series, that's for sure.
No.
Maybe at that moment, but like, it's so like cliche right now because of how popular romancy is. But freaking Throne of Glass, dude.
Still, yeah.
I still love it. And ACOTAR and Throne of Glass are so different.
Yeah.
They're very different, but like the non-big popular ones, I really liked Spark of the Everflame. That series is.
I have another client that told me about that, and I need to read it. Yes.
It's kind of. Have you read Throne of Glass, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, like vibes.
Yeah, that's what I've
So
heard.
it's kind of similar, but like very different. It's really unique. It's really cool. The stories are awesome. It's pretty quick, even though I think the last book is like 800 or 900 pages or something wild.
Really?
It's a big one. It's a Mac Daddy.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
There's not a lot of smut like at all, really.
Yeah.
Just like Throne of Glass, with a few little sprinkled in that kind of support like the series and the kind of the journey of the characters. But I could not put those books down.
Ooh,
I really, really enjoyed it.
I've had other clients tell me about that series too, and I need to add that to my TBR actually.
It's really good.
Okay, well, believe it or not, we're wrapping up today's
geez,
episode. I know, isn't that crazy? It like flies by.
I mean, we can hang out for an hour.
No, literally. You guys, we could just talk all day.
We're here. If you want to be here, we'll here. Like I told her earlier, I'm a yapperino. Yapperoni?
Yeah, yapperoni.
Like a pepperoni, but
yes,
like chihuahua.
Yapperita?
Ooh,
I'm a yapperita. Senorita yapperita. I'm dead. Ignore us. But thank you so much for coming on, Jen. I had a lot of fun. We'll definitely have to get Jen back because I think there's plenty more to talk about.
I'll keep talking.
And hopefully through this you could kind of feel some like, because I've had people reach out to me before that were like, oh my god, Olivia, hearing you go through the things that I'm going through helps bring so much peace to my situation. And hopefully anybody who's watching this can feel feel heard and feel related to the situation that they might be going through. Because it is not easy.
We usually keep struggles quiet because we see it as failure.
I know, and I don't know.
Which it's redirection, right? Exactly. They say failure is redirection.
There's no such thing as failure. It is just redirection. And I think maybe if people were more open about talking about the things that they went through, maybe there would be a better understanding across the board about things. But
hopefully
anyways, guys, that was today's episode. I was so grateful to have you guys. And stay tuned. This will be live on YouTube here in just a sec, so you can watch the whole episode if you didn't catch it today. And yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Yay! Yes. All right, Jen, give them a wave. Bye.
Give them a wave.
Alrighty, girl.
Like a Disney princess.
Yeah, literally.
I'm like...